Hi everyone, welcome to Lake Louise. I'm Jen here, and I'm going to be leading you through a hands-free flow that you can practice anywhere, from home, in your living room, wherever you have space. You don't even need a yoga mat or any props, so I hope you enjoy. So we're going to start standing. Just bring your feet underneath your hips. Bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart, and then just close down your eyes. And we're just going to start by connecting to the breath. And we'll start with a practice called Durga Pranayama, 3-part breath. So breathe through your nose if you can. If not, you can breathe through your mouth at any point. So as you inhale, fill your belly with air. Exhale, feel the belly fall. Inhale, fill the belly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, fill the lower belly up with air, and then bring the last sip of air into the space between the hands. So fill belly, fill space between the hands. Exhale, reverse that release from the ribs, and then the belly. Inhale, fill the belly, up into the ribs. Exhale, ribs, and belly. Next, fill up the belly, up into the mid-ribs, and then all the way into the heart space. Fill that up with that last sip of air. Exhale, just normally or reverse it, release from the heart space, rib cage, and belly. And then just keep flowing with that at your own pace. You really want to find all three abodes of breath, so belly, mid-ribs, and then upper ribs. And already you might start to feel yourself down-regulate and cool down, calm down, feel a little bit more relaxed and grounded, feeling your feet on the ground beneath you. Find one more. Full inhale. And exhale. Just release the hands to the hips. You can readjust the feet if you need to. So we'll start to get into some movement, and you can just breathe normally. You can stay with my pace. You can stay with that 3-part breath if that works for you. Make this your own. Make it so it feels good in your body. So bring the hands beside the hips, palms face forward, feet rooted on the earth beneath you. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead, look up. As you exhale, fold forward, keep the spine long, hands down beside you. Inhale, find a flat back, bring the hands to the shin bones and lengthen out through the spine. Exhale, fold forward, let the head get heavy. Take a breath in, reach the arms wide and high overhead. And exhale, slide them down beside you. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale your air, forward fold, moving from the hips, not the spine. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale to fold. And knees can be deeply bent here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, the hands to the heart. 2 more times, just like that. Move at your own pace if you need to. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Find your flat back, hands to the shin bones or thighs. Exhale to fold it forward. Inhale up. Hands to the heart, exhale. 1 more time through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Find a flat back. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, let the head get heavy. Inhale, stretch up, reach the arms overhead, and then exhale the hands down to the heart. All right, so now we should feel a little bit more warm. Feel like the back of the body is lengthened out a bit. And we'll move into a little bit of a stronger flow. So you'll want to take your left foot, step it out, point the toe away from you, and then the opposite foot, just heel toe it back, nice wide stance. And those toes point forward in the direction that you're facing. So we're in heel to arch alignment here, the front heel. If you drew a line, it'd go right through the back arch. And then once you found that, reach the arms up to shoulder height, bend into the front knee, and then I want you to glance down at that front knee. Is it stacking over the ankle, and can you see your big toe? We want to press that knee out and avoid it knocking in. And then once you've found that gaze over the left fingertips, draw the shoulder blades on the back. This is Warrior 2, one of our classics, finding a lot of strength and stability through the body, empowering ourselves, and really taking up a lot of space. Find a couple of breaths here. And if at any point this feels too effortful, you can relax. You can bring your feet in towards each other. Find one more breath. And then I want you to find an inhale. Take your left arm, stretch it up towards the sky. Right hand rests on the thigh or the lower back. Reach the hand up, look up. Few breaths here. Same thing. Keep a bend in that front knee and avoid it from knocking in. One more. And then hinge forward at your waist. Keep that front knee bent. Bring the left forearm to the thigh, and the right arm will stretch overhead, palm faces down. Extended side angle. So you really want to root down through that back foot, lengthen through the fingertips, reach through the back leg. And then you can gaze down, you can gaze forward. If it feels good, you can gaze up. Whoop, a little wobbly here. So make sure you find your balance. Find that steady gaze point. Bottom hand is active, so it's not just hanging out. Take another breath in. Exhale it out. As you inhale, come all the way back up, straighten that front leg, rotate all the toes pointing forward in the same direction you're facing. Hands come to the hips. We'll find a nice forward fold. So take a deep breath in, lengthen through the crown of the head. As you exhale, fold forward, moving from the hips, keep the spine long, and then bring the hands to whatever's available in front of you. So maybe it's the floor, maybe you have a counter in front of you or something else. Knees can be bent here if that feels best, or you can keep them straight, and then let the head get really, really heavy here. Let the spine lengthen. Feel your heels root down as your hips lift up. Find a couple of breaths here. One more. Bring the hands to the hips. Exhale your breath out. As you inhale, float up. Good. We'll do the same thing all on the other side now. So rotate your right toes to point forward. Reach your hands up to shoulder height. Bend into that front knee. You can widen your stance if you need to, or shorten it. Glance down. Is the knee stacking over the ankle? Can I see the big toe? Press the knee out. And then once you've found that, gaze over the right fingertips. Root down through the back foot. Warrior two, one of our favorites. A very classic yoga pose. Most people are familiar with it. Really cultivating that strength again on this side for 3, 2, and 1. Then we'll reverse this. So take your right hand, sweep it up towards the sky, left hand to the back leg. Keep the front knee bent, lift through the heart, reach up. If you're outside, enjoy the sunshine, hopefully. And then we'll find our extended side angle. So keep the legs as they are, just hinge forward. Bring that front forearm to the thigh. That left arm stretches overhead. Palm faces down. Gaze forward, gaze up, whatever feels best, you get to choose. One more breath here. And then look down for balance. Take a deep breath in, reach yourself back up, straighten that front leg, rotate all 10 toes pointing forward again, hands to the hips. Another forward fold, same as we did before. Take a deep breath in, lengthen out. As you exhale, knees can be bent, forward fold. And then rest the hands wherever is available. Don't forget those knees can be bent. It's not about straightening the legs here. We just want to feel a little bit of length through the backside body for 3, for 2. Last breath here in this forward fold. As you exhale that breath out, bring the hands to the hips and then take a big inhale to float back up. Beautiful. And then heel toe the feet in or just step in. We'll come about hip bone width apart again and we'll move on to a new flow. So find your steadiness through your feet. And then you'll want to bend the knees, sink the hips back. I want you to imagine that you're finding a little chair behind you, but don't actually sit down. There's no chair, or there might be depending on where you are. And then reach the arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in. So this is chair Uttanasana. Really great for building strength through the legs, through your core. Obviously the arms, keeping them overhead can be quite tiring. Take another breath. And then as you exhale that breath out, forward fold, straighten out the legs. Find a flat back, inhale. Exhale, fold. Come back through chair, bend the knees, sink the hips, reach the arms overhead. And then bring the hands to the heart for a moment. So find a little balancing pose. Shift your weight over to your left leg, and then take your right leg, cross it over the left thigh, and flex that foot. Draw the toes towards the shin bone. From here, you can keep your hands on your shins. If there's something to steady you nearby, like a wall, you can find that. Hands to the heart is the other option. And then sink the hips lower until you get a little stretch through the hip. A few breaths here. I know this one's a little bit more work. That left ankle might start to get fatigued. 2 more breaths. And last one. And then without releasing that right foot down, I want you to take an inhale, lift the heart, straighten out through the hips, and then bring that right knee up to hip height. Warrior 3, sweep the leg back behind you, hands beside the hips as a variation here. And we want to drop that right hip down instead of opening it up. So I want you to imagine that you could balance a glass of water on your lower back, reach the hands back behind you, straighten out that standing leg as much as you can. Just one more breath here. Lengthen through the heel, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then we'll release the right foot down beside the left, forward fold. Let the head get heavy. And then you can find a little knee bend here, a hip sway side to side. And then we'll find chair pose again. So bend the knees, sink the hips, reach the arms up, take a breath in. Hands to the heart or something steady nearby. And then shift your weight to the right leg. Lift that left leg up. Cross the ankle over the thigh. Flex the foot. Draw the toes towards the shin bone. Hands to the heart or somewhere else. Press the hips back. Lengthen through the spine. Get a little stretch through that left hip. One more breath. Exhale that breath out. Inhale, ooh, getting wobbly, lift up, hike that knee to hip height, and then sweep it back. Warrior 3, hands beside the hips as a variation. Lengthen through the head and the heel, drop the left hip down. Press through the right foot. For 3, for 2, last breath. As you exhale that breath out, release the left foot beside the right. Just come into a nice forward fold. You can bend the knees. Find a little sway from side to side. Should feel good. All right, find another flat back. Hands to the shin bones. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale to fold. Inhale, just sweep the arms overhead. Come all the way back up to standing. Exhale. Hands to the heart. Just give it a little shake out. The balancing poses can definitely make the ankles a little fatigued. So we'll start to slow things down after that effort, and we'll start to prepare for our seated shavasana today, where you can do anywhere at any time. So I just want you to take your right leg, cross it over your left, root down through the heels. You can find a slight bend through the knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we'll come into a forward fold. From here, I want you to walk your hands over to the right, even if it's just a couple of inches. A few breaths. This one you should start to feel through the outer line of that back leg. And then come back to center with the hands, release them to the hips, take a deep breath in, float all the way up. Other side, uncross, take that left leg over the right, slight bend through the knees, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, a hinge forward. And then same thing, walk the hands a little over to the left, find a couple of breaths here. Feeling that release through the back leg again, maybe even into the hip and the low back. hands, bring them up to the hips, another breath in to float up. And then uncross. So we're going to find our way to a seated position. If you have a chair or a couch nearby, you can sit down there. I'm going to make my way just onto the dock here. The biggest thing is we want to find a long spine. So you can also lay down. Just make sure you don't fall asleep. We're going to do a quick meditation and then a moment of shavasana. So you can either keep your hands on the thighs or you can bring them to the heart. Close down the eyes. And we'll do a practice called metta meditation or loving kindness. And I think with all the things that we're facing right now in the world and in our personal lives, potentially, this can be a really lovely practice to come back to your heart center and just feel good about yourself and the world around you. So I want you to just picture yourself maybe seated right in front of you as if you're looking in a mirror. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, but I want you to imagine that you're sending love or kindness, good vibes, good energy to yourself. Just holding yourself in that space. And if you feel a little bit of resistance, don't worry about it. Just stick with it. Maybe every breath you feel like you're sending that love. Or you can even feel like you're shooting like a light beam to yourself. Take another breath. And then just let that go. Now I want you to picture someone that is more of an acquaintance. You might run into them every once in a while. Maybe it's the person who serves you coffee in the morning. And you might know their first name, but you don't know much about them. Just a neutral person. I want you to imagine them now. And then same thing, just send them those good vibes, that love, happiness. And then start to just let that image drift away. Now I want you to imagine someone that you love dearly and unconditionally. Could even be a pet if you wanted. Bring them into your mind's eye, and then same thing, send them that love. Take another breath. And then start to let that go. And then last but not least, I want you to imagine the whole entire world as best you can, whatever image kind of encompasses that. Maybe you actually imagine the earth or a busy area in the world. The whole planet. And then send them that love, send them that kindness, that compassion. Another breath. And then just release that image. If you have your hands at the heart, just release them down. If you have a space where you can lay down, you can take the last few moments. And then you can stay in shavasana however long you want. Just let go of the breath, let go of the thoughts. Just enjoy your time there. If you have something to go and do, you can get up and move on with your day. But I thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.